Timothy Coleman Field is the place. Spotsylvania County High School tonight. High school football is Culver Media Network proud to bring you all the exciting action as the visiting Cyclones take on the Spotsylvania Knights. I'm Mark O'Connell, and it's my privilege to welcome to our pregame show, first of all, to my far left, Jeff Say, who joins us tonight in place of the absent Steve Peacock, and the man in the middle, Eastern View's head coach, Brian Lowry. Coach,
yes,
thanks for joining us. I know we're taking you away from your pregame drills, but it's so exciting to see you again. We haven't had you mic'd up since the coach's corner.
Yeah.
I think a few things have happened since then.
Just a little bit, a few games, and a wild ride of a season given all the cancellations and we playing or not playing, but it's been a memorable ride. Absolutely a memorable ride.
I want to say before I turn you over to Jeff, my feet feel really good with this cushion underneath. How's it
fancy.
feel tonight on this field?
It's a fantastic field. The staff and I were just talking about how, they've done a great job with these facilities in general, and, the field itself is just a beautiful – I've been on turf before, but sometimes turf is hit and miss, and this is really, really nice. They've done a great job.
Coach, how's that play into your team's speed? Is that something you think you guys can really take advantage of this evening?
I think so. It's going to come down to blocking our assignments correctly and making sure we are going to the right places, the right zones, the right people. But if we do that, we block everything up correctly, I really like our chances as far as our team speed. I think that's something we do have an advantage in tonight. We just have to make sure we take care of the ball. We were talking as coaches, and we feel as the athleticism, we feel pretty solid about it. But we can't use athleticism as an excuse and then make mistakes. We have to make sure we are continuously improving. I'll say the boys have done that as far as cutting down on penalties and turnovers, and we are getting that way. Now we just need to put it all together. That's been the kind of the theme for the last 3 weeks is like we're that close right now. Let's get there.
Coming off of last week's 6-3 loss, how much of a fire is there lit under this team?
I think they're just excited to improve. They're excited to show that, they knew that there were mistakes that were made last week and that they aren't going to make them again. It's kind of been a theme for a while is, hey, we're going to make mistakes. We're a young team. We're a young staff. We're a young program. Let's make new mistakes, though. Let's learn from those previous mistakes and just make new ones. So I think they're very excited to come out there and prove that they're growing.
And, Coach, you really, you talked about one play here, one play there, the game of the outcome being measured in such really sort of fractions sometimes. Right. Caden Hughesby last week, I didn't feel like he had his best game.
No.
How do you assess how he played last week, and what will be different, you think, about tonight's game?
One thing Caden's done really well is that he doesn't make the same mistakes twice, and he's grown every time. And he's somebody, even though he's a senior, he's a young senior. He only had 3 games, if you will, to start last year, 3 or 4. Obviously, I wasn't here, but that's not a lot of time under center being the guy. Right, so he just needs continuous game reps, more time, more reps, more opportunities. And he doesn't make the same mistakes twice, so he's going to continue to grow. We watched film this week, and he said, I was kind of surprised by this happening, and he actually said, I kind of reverted to some old mistakes, some old habits, and he's recognized that, and he's going to take those next steps. I'm pretty excited to watch him.
And, Coach, I never try to delve into a coach's strategy or question what you do, but I just want to ask you, as good as Brett Clatterball is on both sides of the football, is it possible we could see more balls go his way in that tight end position? We're not live tonight, so you don't have to worry about that. By the time people hear it, it'll be after the fact.
That's okay. Well, let's just say we need to get this man's lotto numbers. We'll be all right.
Yeah. I've really been impressed with his play on both sides of football. But of course, it is a team effort, and you've got to get effort from every single player. I just expect Eastern View to bounce back. And I was telling Jeff and John way up here, I don't remember the last time that the offensive output was so low. You guys are used to just sort of lighting it up.
Right.
But one game each week is different. Spotsylvania is a little interesting because they've beaten some teams and they've lost to some teams where you're thinking it's sort of hard to put them in a category, if you will.
I think they're just a well-coached team that plays really, really hard, and that's a team you can win with, right? And so what we've talked about with our guys is we just have to worry about ourselves and do our jobs consistently with relentless effort and kind of have a dog mentality where, you can be really nice up until, that you give that dog a bone, but that dog wants that bone, right? We're going to go after it and forget who you are. And that's kind of what we're looking for tonight. We really respect Spotsylvania. We think they're a great program, but we want to show that we're a program on the rise and we're getting back to our old ways. One thing that we've talked about as the staff, our defense coordinator pointed out, in reality, we're 2 touchdowns away from being undefeated. That's how close it is. And so, last week, we really felt watching that film, we're 4 plays away from being 28-6 us. Yeah. So we're inches. Now, again, we just have to put it together and get there.
I trust your team is very hungry tonight, Jeff.
What's the formula for Eastern View to win tonight? What is that? If it's a recipe, what does it look like tonight?
I'd say do your assignment. That's what it comes down to, because with their offense, if you're not watching correctly, you're not reading your keys and playing correctly, they can make you make some mistakes. And offensively, just know your assignments, make sure we're blocking the right way. And if we do that, I really like our athleticism and our opportunities tonight.
Well, you talk about assignment football particularly because I think we see the single wing tonight. And
Yes.
you haven't seen it all year, right?
No, and that's why you run that offense, is because it takes time to learn how to practice it, and that time learning how to practice it is time away from the defense actually being able to stop it. So,
Well, thank you so much for joining up with us tonight for our pregame show. It's great to see you again. And we'll be watching you from a distance, and we'll catch up with you the next time.
sounds great. Thank you all.
Good luck
Thank you,
tonight.
Coach.
Thank you.
All right. Well, Jeff, you had a chance to talk and introduce yourself to Brian Lowry, and he's a young fellow with some enthusiasm and energy, and I really like his approach to things philosophically.
Absolutely. I love the assignment football discussion because really if you're playing that microcosm and you're able to make the blocks and you're able to free up your players, well then you're going to win the game. And we know that Eastern View is talented. They always have speed. They always have a lot of offense. And so that's why last week was such a shock to the system, because they normally would never just put up 3 points. They're going to bounce back. And I look for a very hungry Cyclone team here tonight, Mark. Take advantage of this track that we're on.
Right.
And I think we're going to kind of see a track and field meet. I think I mentioned it when we got here. I expect some speed to be on display.
Well, ordinarily you and I team up during the cross season, so what a pleasure it is to welcome you to a football broadcast this year, tonight in particular, and thanks for filling in for Steve Peacock. And I know we'll have a great time calling tonight's game.
Oh, awesome. I always look forward to it, and it's just like riding a bicycle. It's like getting right back on with you, Mark.
Yeah.
So.
Well, you'll have a lot to offer to the broadcast, too, when we have some lulls in the action, some downtime. You can talk about things from your perspective because you're very much involved in that Culpeper community. I know a lot of people appreciate you. Thanks for joining us tonight,
Thank you.
Jeff, and we look forward to calling the game with you. Well, for right now, we'll take a break. That's our pregame show. We'll come back for team captains meeting in the center of the field for tonight's coin toss to see who's going to get the opening kickoff. So stay tuned. You're watching Cyclones football on the Culpeper Media Network.
This broadcast is brought to you by the following community sponsors.
Able Heating and Air, 718-7556. Battlefield Automotive, 547-3673. Cash Imprints, 317-1473. The Copperfish and Time Market, 825-1011. Found & Sons, 825-3530.
Welcome to our broadcast from Spotsylvania High School as the visiting Cyclones take on the Spotsylvania Knights. And right now you're looking at team captains meeting in the center of the field. Left to right for Spotsylvania, Davon Banks, Monty McMorris, Jake Jack, Trenton Ballard, number 16. And those Eastern View captains are Caden Huseby, Brett Clatterball, Braden Walker, for the Cyclones. I'm Mark O'Connell, and it's again my privilege to welcome to the broadcast Jeff Say. Jeff, welcome aboard. It's good to see you.
Mark, good seeing you as always. Looking forward to seeing some Cyclones football tonight, and really excited to see number 34, Brett Clatterbaugh. I've heard a lot about him, just a freshman, and looking forward to seeing him out there as a captain. That's special for a freshman, isn't it, Mark?
Well, it really is. And I'll tell you what, the way he's been playing both sides of this football, pretty special as well. Well, it looks like Eastern View has won the toss, and I suspect they're going to receive. All right. Well, ordinarily I would say if you win it, you defer, but it looks like that's not the case. Want to get that offense on the field. Last week, Jeff, against James Monroe, very low scoring output by the Cyclones, except for Jonathan Bale's field goal, I think from 34 yards out. They were scoreless. So I'm certain that head coach Brian Lowry wants to see this team rebound, not only offensively, but really in all facets of the game, because he talked about how there were just some mistakes that they certainly want to eliminate.
Well, they certainly want to get the ball first and try to get some momentum going. I think we're going to see some new wrinkles here tonight. We mentioned Clatterbaugh. We're hearing that he is going to get some carries at the running back position. And I know that Caden Huseby is looking to redeem himself after a less than stellar outing the last game. So I know that they want to get the balls in the hands of their playmakers, Mark, and see what can happen.
And let's see, check that return man for Eastern View, Jeff.
It looks like number 10. It's kind of hard to pick it up from here. But Mac Robinson has teed it up for Spotsylvania. And it could very well, we'll check that out here. I can't see that number from here. All right, here is Spotsylvania kicking off. It's going to be a short kick, fielded just inside the 30-yard line by Xavier Terrell. And Terrell will give the Cyclones good field position to start things here tonight on offense. They're going to mark it about the 43-yard line. So you know what? Eastern View had some good field position last week. They just weren't able to capitalize on it. Maybe things will be different for them tonight.
Well, head coach Brian Lowry talked about that assignment football at the outset of the game, Mark. He talked about making the blocks, just playing your game, and then letting good things happen. That's what Eastern View needs to have happen here tonight.
Well, Caden Hughesby, your quarterback, and we mentioned Brett Clatterball. He's back there starting as a running back, and they're going to go to Clatterball here first thing. Nice cut. And then he gets out to about midfield. That'll be a 6-yard pickup for the freshman Brett Clatterball. So just in that first carry, we saw something very good there.
Yeah, Clatterbaugh, as just a freshman, is over 220 pounds. Looks like a ball player when you get out there. I mean, he's just an impressive specimen.
Well, you know, it's hard to imagine when you have him in offense that you don't try to get him a lot of touches one way or the other. But they're going to do it tonight by giving him the ball as a running back. And, again, a nice pickup. He gets close to that Spotsylvania 45 and a first down, it looks like, from here. So back-to-back runs by Clatterball. Nets about 10 yards. They haven't moved the sticks yet. So it looks like it would be third and very short here. Unless they're just slow moving the sticks. And it looks like that's the case.
And setting up the run nicely, I wouldn't be surprised to see some play action. Once you establish that run with Clatterbaugh, then let Hughesby try to air it out a little bit.
All right, here is 1st and 10 Cyclones now from the Knights 45. And they're going to throw near side at Terrell. And he makes a nice cut, then lowers his shoulder, gets inside the 35-yard line. That'll be very close to another Cyclone first down. And that is number 8 or number 9. Jeff, can you see that?
That made the catch. That was number 9. That was Xavier
Terrell.
Yep.
See, some of these numbers are a little bit difficult to pick up from this vantage point. But in any event, this is a drive that started from the Eastern View 44, and they now have it at the Spotsylvania 34, 1st and 10. Clatterball, the fullback, and he blocks there, I believe, for number 21. That was Josiah Spencer. Well, in the absence of Rack Lawson, we've seen the combination of Josiah Spencer and Deuce Washington carrying the bulk of the running load for Eastern View. But tonight, a new wrinkle with Brett Clatterball starting in the offensive backfield.
Yeah, not having Lawson is a big blow to Eastern View, but looking forward to Clatterball and see what he can. Both balls on the ground.
It sure is. Bad snap, or really couldn't get a handle on it. And we have a fumble at the 35, and it's going to be a turnover to Spotsylvania.
It's number 89 that came up with the ball for Spotsylvania. 69, I'm sorry, that's number 69. That's Parker Price, defensive tackle, sophomore.
And Eastern View was moving. And you know those turnovers will kill you. So Spotsy now on zone 35. We'll see their offense for the first time tonight. Opening minutes here this first quarter. The quarterback is number 3, Monty McMorris. McMorris handing off. I believe this is Cockrell, the ball carrier. And they stop him at the line of scrimmage. Let's see, number 29. Yeah, that is Ethan Cockrell. How did he do last week? Well, he was in the mix as a running back, and they used Tyson Anderson, Davon Banks, Trenton Ballard. Really talk about a single wing attack with Spotsylvania, and that's an offensive alignment that you don't see too frequently, and this is the first Eastern View has seen it all year. And it's 2nd down and 10. Good job of the defense on first down. Now here's a little misdirection and not fooled as Davon Banks picks up 2 or 3 yards, and that's it. It's going to bring up 3rd down. And Jeff, if you can pick up some of the defensive starters, that'd be fine.
I was just going to say Braden Walker was in on that tackle along with Brett
And 3rd and 6 it is for Spotsylvania.
DeMaio Hunter out at corner. Josiah Spencer also out in defensive back for the Cyclones.
All right, here's McMorris, the quarterback, rolling to his right, going to throw. And he's going to overthrow the intended receiver in good coverage there. Jefferson Paz, the tight end, was the intended receiver. He had 2 touchdown catches last week, but that one no chance. And so with 3 and out for Spotsylvania, and it looks like McMorris will double as the punter. Let's pick up the number back here for Eastern View, Jeff.
Looks like that's number 20. That is DeMaio Hunter, back to return kick.
All right. From McMorris, standing at his own 25. 8:52 to play here in the first quarter. We're scoreless so far. Here's the kick. DeMaio Hunter gets under it inside the 35-yard line, breaks a tackle, switches direction. Still on his feet, 45, and now they make contact, and they finally bring him down. Took about 4 players to do so. But for the second time tonight, Eastern View goes on offense with excellent field position. They started their first drive from their own 44, and it looks like that's about the same spot. It is the same spot for the second drive.
And that was a nice return there by DeMaio Hunter. Thought he was going to be able to break one there, just needed to get a block, and I think he could have sprung it, Mark, but he got caught up by the Knights defense.
So here it is, Eastern View back on offense. So the key, hold on to that football. Eastern View looked good on its opening drive until it fumbled. And Caden Hughesby calls his number. Straight ahead he goes. Got across the 45. They stand him up at about the 46. Well, this broadcast is brought to you in part by Found & Sons, which is more than a respected funeral home. They support youth at all levels so they can become tomorrow's leaders. Found & Sons at 825-3530. Do we have our first penalty flag of the game? I don't see any laundry on the field. No, apparently not. All right, so they gave Hughesby 3 yards, brings up 2nd and 7. Clatterball, the running back, alongside Hughesby back there. They fake it to him. Hughesby is going to drop it, pick it up. Now he's being chased, and he's going to make something out of nothing. It looked like it may have had a bobbled play where he may have been dropped for a loss. I think he had a fortuitous bounce.
I thought that was going to be a tuck rule right there, a la Tom Brady. It looked like his hand was coming forward. He was going to throw it, but then it just slipped out and bounced right back to him, and he was able to get a few yards across the 50 mark.
Yeah, 4 to be exact, and it's 3rd down and 3 for Eastern View from the Spotsylvania 49-yard line. We're scoreless so far, 7:45 to play here in the first quarter. They go to Clatterball. He's going to look for some running room. Won't find it. Good penetration that time by Spotsylvania's defense. And they drop him for a loss. Now it's going to bring up 4th down. And in on the tackle was number 5, Mason Dingus, a linebacker and a senior. And now looks like Jonathan Bales and the punt team will come on for Eastern View.
Well, Eastern View has been talking about getting the blocks, being able to open up some lanes, and right there, that lane was just blown up.
So Jonathan Bales will attempt his first punt tonight. Going to stand inside his own 35. Good snap. Here's his kick from the 35. It's a high one. Stays up in the air. Let's see how it bounces. And they're going to down it at the 23. So, 42-yard kick by Bales. And Spotsylvania goes back on offense. And they'll start this one from their own 23. Well, this broadcast is brought to you in part by Battlefield Automotive, featuring Toyota, Chevrolet, and Ford. Battlefield Automotive, the keystone of service and the cornerstone of our community. 547-3673. All right, let's see what Spotsylvania can do here. Back on offense, McMorris, the quarterback. And the running back straight ahead, fighting for yardage out close to the 30.
Run by number 16, Trenton Ballard.
And that was the ball carrier, Trenton Ballard. Do you remember the name Chance Ballard?
I do remember the name Chance
I thought
Ballard.
you might.
Yep.
Got to be his younger brother.
We have a couple of those. We mentioned DeMaio Hunter, the younger brother of Diego Hunter. So there's some legacy out here in the field tonight, Mark.
Well, Ballard picked up 7, 2nd and 3, Spotsylvania. And here's McMorris going to throw. This one's going to be short and bounce away from the intended receiver. Now we'll have a 3rd down and 3 coming up for Spotsylvania's offense.
McMorris is back there directing traffic, shoving Cockrell out of the running back position, having him slot in there as a wide receiver. Maybe some confusion on the Knights, for the Knights right there.
Well, let's see what Spotsylvania dials up here on 3rd and 3. Ball at the Knights' 30-yard line. We're approaching the midway point of this first quarter. So far, we're scoreless. Now, Spotsylvania has 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. They're going to run it to the right. And we're going to have a 1st down pickup for the ball carrier there at the 35. And that again was Trenton Ballard. That'll move the 6 for Spotsylvania. Give them a new set of downs from the 36. Well, you know, this broadcast brought to you in part by Cash Imprints. From shirts to banners and everything in between, imprint your message on the community with Cash Imprints. 317-1473. All right, this time they're going to snap it to Ballard. Ballard tries the left side, lowers his shoulder, gets across the 40, and out to about the 41. That's a pickup of 5 yards. So we're seeing some mixing it up pretty nicely now for Spotsylvania, running both ways and changing their alignments on offense, Jeff.
Well, the past 2 plays were direct snaps to Ballard, and Ballard showing some quick speed there, getting to the outside, and they definitely have a little bit of a sweep going there. The offensive line getting out ahead of him and helping block. So nice play calling by the Knights right now.
Well, they had several players last week run the ball for them, and that loss to Culpeper. They lost to the Blue Devils 34-21, but we've got a whistle and some stoppage here. And it looks like Spotsylvania is going to call a timeout. Well, you know, our timeout sponsor is CFC Farm and Home Center. The service, knowledge, and products you need for your farm, home, pets, livestock, and equine since 1932. And you know, we're not live tonight, but we have been live in certain games, and when we are, we'd like to remind you that our live sponsor is Able Heating and Air, answering any and all questions you may have about your HVAC system. There's peace of mind knowing they are able to keep your home comfortable. Able Heating and Air, 718-7556. So, 4:54 to play, first quarter action. Spotsylvania had called the timeout. I'm Mark O'Connell alongside Jeff Say and Chris Johnny Krawchuk behind the camera. And we are at Timothy Coleman Field, named in honor of former Spotsylvania head football coach Tim Coleman, who led this program to great gridiron success. And he's coached in different places since then. Not sure exactly what he's doing today, but good-looking field, isn't it, Jeff?
Absolutely. 3 state titles, right, that he brought here to Spotsylvania?
I think it was 3, yeah. All right, here's McMorris on the roll. He's got Bullard out there at the 45, and holding on and making that solo tackle was DeMaio Hunter. But it looks like it's going to be close to a Spotsylvania first down.
And that play happened, Mark, because they've been running the ball so effectively. They're able to do a little bit of play action, get it out there to Ballard. Nice play calling once again by the Knights. Eastern View is going to need a big stop here.
Well, it's 1st and 10 for Spotsylvania at its own 47. McMorris, handoff. Wow, what a hit. And just smothered on the play. Look and see if that was Clatterball.
That was Braden Walker, 50, slashing in there.
Braden Walker, and I think he got some help from Clatterball on that running back. I believe was it 15 or 16 Trenton Ballard?
That wasn't Ballard that time. That was 15.
15?
That was Darrell Washington.
You have a 15?
Oops. Oh, sorry. I was looking at Eastern Views. No, that was not Ballard on that one though. That was I'll have to pick up his number there.
Could have been Tyson Anderson, number 25. They faked it to Anderson. They go to the other direction, and the Eastern View defense there, just like a stone wall, and they stop the running back for another loss here. So now, thanks to these back-to-back good stops by the Cyclone defense, they now force a 3rd and 11. from the 45.
And that was Tyson Anderson on that previous play call.
Anderson?
Anderson.
Tyson Anderson, so we have him. He had some carries last week. Ethan Cockrell, Davon Banks, Trenton Ballard all ran the ball. You never really know with Spotsylvania who's going to get it. Here's some misdirection. And now they're going to throw it, and this one's going to be caught. And fighting for additional yardage along the Spotsylvania sidelines. Well, is it number 8? Yeah, it is. Jefferson Paz, the tight end.
And that pass was by Devon Banks.
So you just, they mix it up, a little trickery there.
Still not quite enough for the first down mark.
Eastern View, Spotsylvania has it rather, on the Eastern View side of midfield at the Eastern View 47, and it is 4th down and 4. They line up to go for it here. Got to watch that long snap count, of course. All right, here's McMorris going to throw. Got a receiver out there in the flat, breaks a tackle, first down yardage and more. Got down to about the 30. Let's see if we can pick up that number.
It was Tyson Anderson, number 25.
All right. Well, I got to give Spotsylvania credit, Jeff, for some excellent play calling here.
Absolutely. They're doing a really good job of spreading the ball around. We're seeing a lot of different ball carriers, and then that was a nice little pass right on the flat. Tyson Anderson wide open and showing his speed.
So Spotsylvania now has it at the Eastern View 34. 2:55, clock running, first quarter action. No score yet. Spotsylvania, as the expression goes, is knocking on the door. And here's a direct snap. This is number 1. Straight ahead, the ball carrier refusing to go down, still on his feet. Got inside the 20. That was Davon Banks. Wow. For a little guy, he just ran big. Didn't want to go down, did he?
17-yard gain right there, Mark. Just a nice job. And, man, you mentioned that power. He just kept those legs turning.
17-yard gain. You're exactly right, Jeff. And so Spotsylvania now has it 1st and 10. They're in this red zone. Anytime you're within the 20 of your opponent, you're considered to be in the red zone. Some teams talk about red zone success, and some teams talk about red zone difficulties. Let's see how Spotsylvania can capitalize here. They have it 1st and 10 at the Eastern View 17. Here's a direct snap again. Is this Tyson? No, it's Davon Banks. Except this time Eastern View was waiting on him. And they stop him
Run by number 1, Davon Banks.
right at the 15, so he only picked up 2. 2nd and 8 coming up. Checking the ball game. And this is one of the things you'll see, that Spotsylvania will bring 2 or 3 players in on each play to rotate. So I think if you're defensively, doesn't that make things a little confusing for you?
Well, it was interesting because we mentioned early in the game, Spotsylvania has 31 players on
Right.
the roster.
Yeah.
And they're doing a really good job of subbing the guys in and out and be able to keep fresh players out there, while Eastern View's maybe a little bit gassed right now.
Well, the quarterback's going to fake it and keep it. He gets down close to the 10-yard line. That's a gain of 5. And it'll bring up 3rd down and about 5. We'll make it 4, rather. It's right at the 10-yard line. So they can pick up a 1st down and get a new set of downs to work on punching it into the end zone. Clock is running. We're approaching that 1-minute mark here in this first quarter. Spotsylvania in good position here, Jeff, to score the game's first points.
Well, Eastern View needs to get some penetration. Right now, they're being blown off the ball by the offensive line of the Knights.
All right, here it is. Quarterback going to keep it. He didn't fool anyone that time. Brett Clatterball and 2 other players. If you can pick up their numbers. 51, it looks like.
Yep, that's Corey Long.
Corey Long. Nice defense. Now a 4th down. Do they go for the field goal here, or do they go for the 1st down, or do they want to think it over?
Mark, I'm going for it. I'm not kicking a field goal. When you're this close to 3 yards away from a 1st down, and you're in the red zone, you keep the pressure on.
Yeah, and even, of course, if you don't get it, your opponent's going to be starting on offense deep in their own territory. And I don't know to what extent they have confidence in their kicker. But like you say, the way they've been driving, they started this drive from their own 23. And they've got it down to the Eastern View 10. Here's McMorris. Here's time. Here comes the pressure. Throwing to the end zone. This one, is it caught? No, it's incomplete. And I thought the receiver had a real good shot of hauling that one in. Jeff, if you can pick up his number, you may need the
That was DeMaio Hunter down there on defense.
defending, right.
Defending, and he was able to break that up at the last minute. But I was wondering, I was looking at the clock mark. I didn't even know, I don't think they got that play off.
Well, it looks like, well, right now, nothing on the scoreboard clock, so it looks like they were able to get it off. And they're going to say into the first quarter. And what a way to end that one. We'll talk more about it when we come back for the start of the second. Keep it right here. You're watching Cyclones football on the Culpeper Media Network.
This broadcast is brought to you by the following community sponsors.
Able Heating and Air, answering any and all questions you may have about your HVAC system. There's peace of mind knowing they are able to keep your home comfortable. Able Heating and Air, 718-7556. Battlefield Automotive, featuring Toyota, Chevrolet, and Ford. Battlefield Automotive, a keystone of service and a cornerstone of our community. From shirts to banners and everything in between. Imprint your message on the community with Cash Imprints, 317-1473. From wood-fired pizza to the freshest seafood and a world of taste in between. You'll find it all at Copperfish and Time Market. More than just a respected funeral home, Found & Sons supports youth at all levels so they can become tomorrow's leaders. Found & Sons, 825-3530.
Welcome back to our broadcast and to the start of the second quarter, which sees Eastern View back on offense from its own 10. And we want to revisit what happened on that last play of the first quarter because that one was huge for Eastern View, who Deuce Washington, the ball carrier there. Well, Jeff, let's go back because Spotsylvania was denied. They had started their drive from their own 23 and had moved it down to the Eastern View 10-yard line where they faced 4th and 4. They decided to go for it, and then they had the incomplete pass. DeMaio Hunter made a nice play, but I thought the receiver looked like he had a shot for it to bring it in. Not really sure why he didn't. We've got our second fumble of the night, and Eastern View better hope they pounced on it.
They did not.
They did not. Spotsylvania has recovered at the Eastern View 10-yard line. So Eastern View's second turnover put Spotsylvania back in the cockpit.
Well, that snap just caught Hughesby by surprise. I don't know how he didn't see that one coming, but he took it right off the chest and it quickly bounced into the Knights' hands. And just as quickly as that momentum had changed on that huge stop by Eastern View, it's right back to Spotsylvania.
And they've got a great opportunity here, of course. Well, we talked about the substitutions that Spotsylvania makes. Like, for example, number 2, Mason Christopher comes into the game. He's listed as a quarterback. That doesn't mean he's going to play that position, but we'll see.
You also don't know who they're going to snap it to. They might snap it to
exactly
Christopher and have him throw it.
All right. Here's your runner headed down toward the end zone there. That may have been Mason Christopher.
It was.
And he's in from 10 yards out. Spotsylvania strikes first. 6-0. Knights here with 11-17 showing in the second quarter.
Well, we talked about that substitution, and we hadn't really seen Mason Christopher yet. They brought him in, direct snap right to him, and he was able to go over that left side and into the end zone. A lot of power shown there by Mason Christopher.
It really was. On for the point after will be Mac Robinson. And all these points after are very important. There's a bobbled snap, and the placeholder runner is going to have to pick it up, run with it, be stopped, so the PAT will fail. And you never know how that's going to loom, just how large in a game as it plays out.
Well, that was a high snap, and the placeholder wasn't able to get it down. And Christopher not able to get a kick off, so Eastern View holding them to just 6 points.
So let's go back to Spotsylvania. They capitalized on the Eastern View's second turnover, took over at the 10-yard line, and in one play, you had Mason Christopher come in, his first carry of the night. He bowls his way in the end zone from 10 yards out. 6-0, the point after fails. But early on, if you're looking at Eastern View, you're saying 2 turnovers, and that's been damaging for them.
We talked about those simple mistakes that they've been making, and they said they haven't been making the same mistakes twice, And we really, we've seen a couple fumbles, but it's been two different plays. One, Huseby was trying to make a play and he lost it. That time, he wasn't ready for the snap, went off his chest. So different mistakes, but they're still mistakes, and it's still costing Eastern View 6 points here to start the game. And now the Cyclones, Mark, they need to get the offense on the field and sustain a drive so they can get their defense some rest.
What about the snaps and the, handling those snaps from center and that sort of thing? I mean, they've really got to clean that up.
Absolutely. And, that's just going to be repetition. And, he mentioned that Huseby is, fairly new to the position still, only started 3 games last year. This year, just 6 games in, so he's still growing. He's going to learn. He's going to come out and, learn from those mistakes and not have that happen again.
Robinson's kick returned by Josiah and Spencer. Caught it on the run from about the 30. Got out to the 38. So 8-yard return. Eastern View back on offense from its own 38. 11:08 to play, second quarter action, 6-0 Spotsylvania. Now, Caden Huseby back in the gun alongside Brett Clatterball there. Here comes Spotsylvania. Huseby's going to throw it. He's got a receiver out there in the flat, makes a move, and they're going to stop him just shy of midfield at the 48. That's number 5. That's Darian Cook. His first catch of the night, and they say it's good enough for a first down. So they'll reset here. Clatterball remains in the backfield with Huseby. Here comes Spotsylvania. Huseby throws and is caught, and stepping out of bounds was number 3, Connor Weeks. Let's check the spot. He had some running room, but it looked like he stepped out of bounds, Jeff, after he picked up about 6 yards. They mark it at the Spotsylvania 46. Second down and 4 from that spot.
I was going to say Weeks was off to the races, but his foot just went out. Good call by the referee to catch that. But Eastern View having a little bit of rhythm going right now.
And they've got to hold on to this football. They've got 2 turnovers so far. Caden Huseby wants to stiff arm the first defender and does. And then Spotsylvania closes. They're hitting pretty hard. He goes out of bounds, and he did not pick up any yardage. It's going to bring up third down. Looks like he lost a yard on the play.
Yeah, and he got creamed too, coming out of that backfield. He was trapped there back deep, and he was able to at least get almost back to the line of scrimmage, but he took a beating for it, Mark.
So he lost a yard, brings up 3rd and 5. And let's see what Eastern View does here. Brett Clatterball in that backfield. They're going to send 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Huseby got a man out there. I believe that's, is that Connor Weeks?
That's Weeks again.
All right, well, it looks like Weeks has picked up first down yardage for Eastern View. We'll check the spot. And we'll tell you, this broadcast is brought to you in part by Copperfish and Time Market. From wood-fired pizza to the freshest seafood and a world of taste in between. You'll find it all at Copperfish and Time Market.
And that is indeed a first down, Mark. About 5 yards just on the nose for Weeks. And Eastern View finds some success throwing the ball on short routes.
Yeah, they needed 5. He picked up 6, did Connor Weeks. He's got some speed, doesn't he?
Absolutely. He put on the burners right there.
1st and 10 now. Here's Huseby, going to keep it all the way. Gets to the outside, got some running room. Lowers his shoulder, gets inside that 25-yard line. Nice run by Huseby, and another Cyclone first down. Well, this broadcast is brought to you in part by Battlefield Automotive, featuring Toyota, Chevrolet, and Ford. Battlefield Automotive, a keystone of service and a cornerstone of our community. 547-3673. New set of downs for the Cyclones. They have it at the 25. Huseby throwing for the end zone. This one's going to be picked off. Intercepted. Let's see if we can pick up that number, Jeff.
It's number 25.
All right, number
Tyson
25 is Tyson Anderson from his defensive backs position. Well, that'll kill a Cyclone drive. They were looking pretty good. Started from their own 38, picked up 3 first downs and had it 1st and 10 from the 25. And the interception means Eastern View's 3rd turnover of the game.
Nice play on the ball there by Anderson. He saw it coming in the whole way, and he was able to readjust and get under the receiver and make that pick.
This is Spotsylvania back on offense from its own 20. And the Knights lead 6-0, 9:37 to play here in this second quarter. And we talked about how Spotsylvania really does like to mix it up with their personnel. Here's a direct snap. I believe this is 25 out to the 30. Tyson Anderson, isn't he the fellow that just picked off that pass?
Yep, they gave him a little reward and said, run with it, Tyson, and he took it up over the 30 mark.
And that's a pickup of out to the 32. It's a pickup of 12 yards and a 1st down.
I like when teams do that, when they say, hey, you just made a play on defense. Go out and see what you can do on offense. You got that adrenaline pumping.
Right. All right, who's checking back in? That's Mason Christopher, number 2. He's got the game's only touchdown so far. And again, with the single wing, you just don't know where that ball is going to be snapped. There's a lot of misdirection back there. Got to really. This is why Coach Lowry talked about assignment football. And right now, the Cyclones stay in their lanes. They do a nice job of tackling the ball carrier at the 35-yard line and limit him to 3 yards. Bring up 2nd and 7. This broadcast brought to you in part by Found & Sons, which is more than a respected funeral home. They support youth at all levels so they can become tomorrow's leaders. Found & Sons, 825-3530. Clock running, 8:30 to play, second quarter action. Mark O'Connell, Jeff Say, Johnny Krawchuk with you tonight from Spotsylvania High School. And here the ball carrier this time over the left side. Had a little bit of running room, so they closed the distance on him near the 40-yard line.
That was Jalen Tolson. First time we've seen him run the ball.
And that's number 23, and yet that just sort of affirms our point. All the 31 players on this roster. They seem to be using all of them with all the different substitutions and all the different names you call as ball carriers.
And they certainly seem a little more fresh than Eastern View does. Eastern View's defense has been out there quite a bit. They just keep subbing guys in, Mark.
This one is snapped to number, is it 16?
That's Trenton Ballard once again.
Yeah, Trenton Ballard once again. And that one, you really have to stay focused out there. So know where that ball is going to go. It's at the 44, and that's good enough for a Spotsylvania 1st down. Now, they bring in Jake Jack. It's got to be the son of the coach, Jeremy Jack, I suspect. And he's a senior tight end on offense, linebacker, defense. Jake Jack, first time we call his name, he's into the game. Will he get the ball?
Ooh,
oh, what a
wow.
hit. Guess who made that one? That was Brett Clatterball on the running back there. I believe that was Tyson Anderson. That may be the best looking. Well, we've seen really 2 really hard, clean tackles made by Eastern View tonight. And Clatterball was in on that second one.
Clatterball puts me on a John Lynch. Used to play for the Denver Broncos.
Yep, he did. And he also played for Tampa Bay.
Tampa Bay, yep.
John Lynch wore number 47, played safety.
He has that same explosiveness.
Mm-hmm. And just a freshman is Clatterball. Now, 2nd down and 9 from the 45. Spotsylvania. Quarterback wants to throw it. This one picked off. He tried to dump it short, and Eastern View there, number 6, is Davion Wilkerson. So Eastern View's first turnover of the game. They've given up 3 turnovers, but now Spotsylvania's given up 1.
And that was the pressure right there coming from Braden Walker. Walker had McMorris on the run. McMorris tried to flip it, and instead, Davion Wilkerson was able to pick that one off. Nice play all around by the Cyclone defense. That pressure made that play happen, Mark.
It really did, and so now we'll see the Eastern View offense back on the field. Outstanding field position, Spotsylvania 39. Here come the Knights. Another fumble on the play. Let's see if, well, Spotsylvania says they have it, and it looks like the official agrees. Well, Jeff, what are you going to say? That's 4 turnovers for Eastern View, and we're not even quite at the midway mark of the second quarter.
You've got to really tighten up if you're the Cyclones right now. Head coach Brian Lowry talked about those mistakes and leaving them on the sidelines. They're not going to keep making the same mistakes over and over, and this is the 3rd fumble they've had in this game. They've really got to preach hanging on to that ball right now.
Yeah, so they've had 3 fumbles and 1 interception here in this first half of the Cyclones. And now Spotsylvania back on offense from the 41. And breaking a tackle there, and then here comes a penalty flag again. This is one of the first ones we've had tonight. And it looks like it was number 25, Tyson Anderson, the ball carrier. Let's check the call.
That's 23, actually. Jalen Tolson with the carry.
Okay, thanks, Jeff. And let's check the penalty. Looks like it's going to work against Spotsylvania. Will it be a holding? 2, 3, 4, 5. Got to be. As they mark it all the way back to the 32. And I'll tell you that our broadcast is brought to you in part by Copperfish and Time Market. From wood-fired pizza to the freshest seafood and a world of taste in between. You'll find it all at Copperfish and Time Market. 6:04 to play. Clock stopped with that penalty. And Spotsylvania has it. Looks like 1st and 19. This one picked off, read it all the way, and into the end zone for the touchdown. We'll have to pick up his number, Jeff.
That's number 20.
DeMaio Hunter read it perfectly. And then the quarterback, I believe, was Mason Christopher, number 2. And Hunter just read that one perfectly and ran it into the end zone from, 32 yards out. And so now the Cyclones are on the board at 6-6, and Jonathan Bales can give them the lead here. We connect on this point after.
God, I love football. That was just a wonderful play right there by Hunter. He read that the whole way. He saw where he was looking, and he came streaking across that field, and he was able to pick that one off. And there was nobody stopping him. He knew once he had that ball, he was scoring that touchdown. What a play right there by the Cyclones.
Pick 6, DeMaio Hunter. We're tied up 6-6, and looks like Eastern View's called a timeout to think about this one. Our timeout sponsor this year is CFC Farm and Home Center, the service, knowledge, and products you need for your farm, home, pets, livestock, and equine. It's since 1932. And when we're live periodically this season, our live sponsor is Able Heating and Air, answering any and all questions you may have about your HVAC system. There's peace of mind knowing they are able to keep your home comfortable. Able Heating and Air, 718-75-56. All right, so on for the point after. And I believe DeMaio Hunter is actually the holder there, too, for Jonathan Bales. So if Bales boots this one through, the Cyclones will be on top, 7-6. His kick is up and good. 7-6 our score in favor of the Cyclones with 5:46 to play. So it was a pick 6 by DeMaio Hunter. So we've got, what do we got? Eastern View has committed, 4 turnovers? And Spotsy has committed 2. And that second one by Spotsylvania cost them 6 points, plus the point after.
And both the Spotsylvanias have been interceptions. 3 of the 4 for the Cyclones have been fumbles. They've got to really just work on holding on to the ball, focusing, and knowing exactly what play they're running. It seems like there's been a couple little miscommunications that have really cost them.
No, they have to be. Eastern View has to be particularly concerned with the fumbles. Well, Jonathan Bales will tee it up for Eastern View. Let's talk about these two teams, Jeff, that come in tonight. Spotsylvania 3-3 overall, 1-2 in the district. Eastern View 4-2 overall, 2-2 in the district. And really, this is the 7th game of the season, so really think that these teams, if you want to make the playoffs, you got to win from here on out.
Absolutely. And I think you were saying earlier that according to VHSL that Spotsy is the number 12 team right now in the playoffs. And
according to Devin Payne's article.
According to Devin Payne with the Star Exponent, that Spotsy's number 12 and Eastern View is number 11. So whoever wins here tonight is going to really help boost their ranking when it comes to the playoffs.
Jalen Tolson on the return. Brings it out, I believe, across the 30-yard line. It is the 33. And the Knights now trail by 1 point, 7-6. Let's see what they throw at the Cyclones this time. As we talked about, always a continuous substitution of players. Just never know who's going to be in that backfield.
I feel like they're running hockey lines out there.
Right. And this is a snap, I believe, to Mason Christopher. We'll check that in just a second. He wears jersey number 2. Nope, it was 25, Tyson Anderson.
Nope, that was 16, Trenton Ballard.
16. We'll get it right eventually. Trenton Ballard, younger brother of Chance Ballard. He played well at Spotsylvania a few years ago. 2nd down and 8 coming up. Substitutions again. Number 10 is Jake Jack. The head coach of Spotsylvania is Jeremy Jack. Now Spotsylvania will send 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. There's a snap and the handoff, and that is to Davon Banks. They tackled him near the line of scrimmage. Do the Cyclones. And now we'll have 3rd and 7.
Yeah, Banks picking up just a yard there. Nice play. I think that was number 44, Keegan Brown, for the Cyclones, making that tackle.
All right, 3rd down and 6 for the Knights. Quarterback throwing on the run. This time he's got a receiver, and it's number 45, Marcus Tucker, the tight end. Will be out near the 40-yard line. It's going to be a little shy of a 1st down, moved by about 2 yards. And here comes what appears to be the punting team.
First punt for Spotsylvania tonight.
Yeah, if they do punt, let's just check it out. We'll find out here in just a second.
Well, they're going to think about it for a second. They're taking a timeout.
All right.
3:51 to play here in the first half. Eastern View leading 7-6.
Well, Jeff, what do you think so far? I know you're back into the football broadcast tonight. And been out of the loop for a while, and this is your first look at Eastern View. And I mean, obviously the turnovers have to really stand out.
That's the mistakes, the turnovers. If they're able to win this game with having 4 turnovers in the first half, it's going to be pretty impressive. And they've been able to hang in there. And defensively, they've done a nice job of being able to shut down Spotsylvania on the big plays. So offensively, they just need to hang on to the ball. They need to be able to get something going offensively. You know, the only points they have so far tonight is on that pick 6. When they have moved the ball on offense, they've looked strong.
Well, very good. Well, you know, this broadcast is brought to you in part by Cash Imprints, from shirts to banners and everything in between. Imprint your message on the community with Cash Imprints, 317-1473. All right, let's see what the Knights do here after the timeout.
It looks like they're going to go for it. No punt team line back for the Knights, Mark. They're going to try to convert here on 4th down.
And here's a reverse, and this is going to be a 1st down and more, as that's Jalen Tolson takes it for a 1st down. What a nice play call.
They were able to get that going quickly before Eastern View was able to penetrate in the backfield. And then Tolson showing some speed, being able to get out to the 50.
And they keep mixing it up back there in that backfield. They snap it to the quarterback. He fakes the handoff and keeps it. And it looks like we have a penalty flag down. That was Mason Christopher, the ball carrier.
I think there's going to be a face mask call on Eastern View. Christopher looked like he might have had his mask pulled.
It is. Good call. Personal foul, face mask against Eastern View. So I suspect they'll tack on 15 yards here. And they will. So this is a big one. It's going to move the ball all the way down to the Cyclone 33-yard line.
First and 10, Spotsy at the 32-yard line.
And the clock is ticking, Mark. 3:16 remaining.
Here in
Spotsylvania's driving here in the end of the second quarter.
Mason Christopher is checked back in for Spotsylvania. And he's directing traffic back there. They don't snap it to him. They snap it to his teammate. They meet at the line of scrimmage. We'll pick up his number in just a second. It's a little difficult tonight. All right, that's number 45. Mentioned him. That's Marcus Tucker. They really just keep you guessing, don't they?
Well, it's amazing how many players they've had carry the ball tonight. I think that's the 6th player that has run the ball for Spotsylvania.
And we remarked when they came onto the field tonight, they don't have a lot of players. We checked the roster, they have 31. But for a team with only 31 players, they really do mix it up pretty nicely. And this time they go back to number 23, Jalen Tolson.
Run by number 23, Jalen.
And let's check the spot. As the clock continues to run, we have about 2 minutes to play here. This is a sideline warning against Spotsylvania. They have it marked now at the 24. Picked up 6. 3rd down and 2 for the Knights.
Mark, this is where Eastern View has stepped up tonight. They've been able to make some big 3rd and 4th down stops.
Sideline warning.
So, and again, Spotsylvania just a really nice job of substitution. Mason Christopher comes back in. Spotsylvania has it. I said 3rd and 2.
3rd and 2.
It is 3rd and 2. I just haven't adjusted the scoreboard. This is a direct snap to that lead back there. Straight ahead he goes to the 20-yard line.
Well, that's that single wing. I mean, you just don't know who it's going to at any given time. They've got 2 quarterbacks in the backfield, and McMorris and Mason Christopher.
Right.
So you really don't know if they're going to run it or they're going to throw it. They've got so many different looks that, man, they've got a lot of weapons, Mark.
Yes, they do, and they have 1st and 10 now at the Eastern View 20-yard line.
1st and 10.
Minute 25, clock ticking, second quarter. 7-6 our score in favor of the Cyclones, and that's could be subject to a quick change. All right, here is the running back this time is Davon Banks, and I believe it was number 50 of Eastern View making the tackle, Jeff.
And that is Braden Walker. We've called his number a couple of times. He's been creating some plays. Big boy out there for the Cyclones. I've known Braden a really long time, and it's amazing to me he's just a junior. He's 6'3", 290, and he's really got a motor on him for such a big guy.
Well, maybe you can tell us when you get a chance, you know, how you do know him. Uh-oh, this is going to be a pass, incomplete, and it looked like Jalen Tolson was the passer.
3rd and 7.
Incomplete pass brings up 3rd and 7. So this is an important stop or defense position here for Eastern View, Jeff.
Once again, I mentioned, they've been doing a good job on 3rd and 4th down. It's when they get pressure and they're able to make Spotsylvania rush a throw or be able to kind of break up their misdirection is when you really see the Cyclones do extremely well.
And it is 3rd down and 7 now for Spotsylvania from the Eastern View 17-yard line. Here's your quarterback in a lot of trouble, and he fumbles. This one picked up, looks like that clatter ball at the 40-yard line. Well, the fellow who fumbled it was number 2, Mason Christopher. He was looking to pass it, but Cyclones got to him, forced the fumble. I think now Eastern View will take over on offense.
I think that was Kevin Berg that caused that fumble, number 11 for the Cyclones. He was in there on that tackle. Once again, when the Cyclones are able to bring pressure, they really are disrupting the Knights.
So this first half's been plagued by turnovers. I think we mentioned Eastern View has 4. Now Spotsylvania now has 3. So not a statistic you want to be leading the way in. Quick toss to the far side there for Eastern View. And the receiver seems to be a little shaken up on the play. And that was, or is, Xavier Terrell. And not sure how long they'll be attending to him, but this will be a good opportunity to take a break. Why don't we take a break? We'll come back when the action resumes. Keep it right here. You're watching Cyclones football on the Culpeper Media Network.
This broadcast is brought to you by the following community sponsors.
Able Heating and Air, 718-7556. Battlefield Automotive, 547-3673. Cash Imprints, 317-1473. The Copperfish and Time Market, 825-1011. Found & Sons, 825-3530.
All right, welcome back to our broadcast. The injured player was Xavier Terrell, but he was able to go to the sidelines on his own. Eastern View resumes its attack on offense. Caden Hughesby going to throw it. Nice catch out there. Made an attack and a broken tackle. The receiver gets down inside that 35-yard line. Connor Weeks, they say, is the recipient. And a first down for Eastern View. Eastern View calls a timeout. Looks like there's only 10.9 seconds showing here in this second quarter. And, of course, you get a big play, you can, who knows. But
Well, you have to go for the end zone here if you're Eastern View. Take that shot. I think that's Eastern View's final timeout as well.
Well, our timeout sponsor this year is CFC Farm and Home Center. The service, knowledge, and products you need for your farm, home, pets, livestock, and equine since 1932. And our live sponsor this year is Able Heating and Air, answering any and all questions you may have about your HVAC system. There's peace of mind knowing they are able to keep your home comfortable. Able Heating and Air, 718-7556. All right, after the timeout, the Cyclones have 10.9 seconds showing on the scoreboard clock, and they have the ball at the Spotsylvania 33. Here's Caden Hughesby. Here comes some pressure. He steps up to get away from it. He's at the 30, 25, 20. Tiptoes along the sidelines. Let's check the spot. They're down to 1.9 seconds to play, so that was a really good call by Caden Hughesby. He got down near the 15-yard line, Jeff, and so now really you've got time for one play. And I think they're going to bring Jonathan Bells on for a field goal try. If they do, this will be the 15 plus 7, 22. 32-yard field goal attempt coming up for Jonathan Bells, and the holder is DeMaio Hunter. And I'm certain this is within Bales' range. It's a matter of a good snap, good hold. And he's got the leg for it. DeMaio Hunter gets it down. The kick is up. It looks like it's cleared, and it is good from 32 yards out. That's how this first half is going to end, with Eastern View on top, 10-6. All right.
I love that play call. You take the points when they're at a premium. And Bales, you mentioned he had the leg. Nice, accurate kick. Good snap, good hold there by Hunter. Just a nice play all around.
I'll tell you, DeMaio Hunter made a nice play as that holder, because it wasn't a perfect snap. And he had to make a good play on it, get it down in time. And Spotsylvania was pretty close to blocking it, but they were able to get away with it, and Bells connects. All right, so that's how our first half will end. Two teams go to the locker rooms for intermission. Cyclones up 10-6. We'll take a break. We'll come back when the third quarter Kickoff is about to happen. Stay tuned. You're watching Cyclones football on the Culpeper Media Network.
This broadcast is brought to you by the following community sponsors.
Able Heating and Air, 718-7556. Battlefield Automotive, 547-3673. Cash Imprints, 317-1473. The Copperfish and Time Market, 825-1011. Found & Sons, 825-3530.
Welcome back to our broadcast and to the start of the third quarter, where Eastern View will be kicking off to Spotsylvania. The Cyclones lead 10-6. I'm Mark O'Connell alongside Jeff Say, Johnny Krawchuk behind the camera tonight. Beautiful field here at Spotsylvania High School, named in honor of the great former Spotsylvania head coach Tim Coleman. So, Jeff, as we await Jonathan Bell's kickoff, it's not hard to break down that first half. First thing that comes to mind is 7 turnovers.
That was the difference. I mean, and the fact that Eastern View had 4 of those and are in the lead is pretty impressive. But we saw 2 interceptions by the Cyclones picking off the Knights, and I think that was the big difference, and that one being the pick 6 by DeMaio Hunter really is the difference in the game.
Here's the return. It's a good one. It was a short kick, and it was fielded by number 45, Marcus Tucker. And he gives Spotsylvania an early spark to start the third quarter. 10-6 our score. So we had a touchdown by Eastern View, courtesy of a pick 6 by DeMaio Hunter. And Jonathan Bales had the point after and a field goal to end that first half. And for Spotsylvania, they scored first. It was a 10-yard touchdown run by Mason Christopher. And here it is, Spotsylvania on offense. And again, the misdirection, but the Cyclones aren't fooled. They're going to hold the ball carrier there, Davon Banks, to a nominal pickup, perhaps 2 yards at the most.
I think they're going to give them 2. That's a generous spot. But we've talked about that's what Spotsylvania does so well. You never know who's going to have the ball. We've seen Banks have it. We've seen Christopher, McMorris. We've seen Jake Jack with it. We've seen Trenton Ballard. We've seen Marcus Tucker. They're doing a really good job. We have also seen Tyson Anderson and Jalen Tolson all carry the ball.
And this is a direct snap to that up back, and they're going to tackle him at the line of scrimmage. That's number 16, and that's Trenton Ballard. So, you know, we talked to Eastern View head coach Brian Lowry in our pregame. He talked about assignment football, and you can see why that's so important when you're playing against a single wing.
Which is sticking to those lanes. And for Eastern View's defense, we've seen that when they're able to penetrate and get into the backfield, that makes a big difference.
And as we said, Spotsylvania will really mix up their personnel. Here's third down. Watch that ball. It's a fumble. They tried to reverse it. Number 29, Ethan Cockrell, took the snap, and he tried to hand it off to his teammate, and he fumbled it, but Spotsylvania recovers at the 41-yard line. So he actually lost 7 yards. They'll bring up 4th and 14. We're in the opening minutes here this third quarter. If you're just tuning in, it's Eastern View 10, Spotsylvania 6. And Battlefield District matchup. And of course, as Jeff and I pointed out, if you want to play in the postseason, you're pretty much going to have to win from this point on, because Spotsylvania is the, I think, 12th ranked team in the region, and Eastern View number 11. And they come back with number 1, Trayvon Banks, and the Cyclones again do a nice job playing assignment football. They stop him after a short pickup. They'll mark it at the 40. He only picked up 1. And so Spotsylvania has turned it over on downs, and Eastern View will have it.
Another big stop by Eastern View. That's something they've been doing all night long, Mark, is that they've been really stepping up on 3rd and 4th down, making those big plays.
Well, let's see if they can do something about cleaning up these snaps. And as Brett Clatterball is the ball carrier, And with second effort, he dove forward to the 42 for a pickup of 2 yards. You mentioned Clatterball got the starting nod in that running back position tonight. Previously, they'd been alternating between Deuce Washington and all of a sudden my mind had failed me, Jeff. I'll get to that here in a second. Deuce Washington, I'll put that up again. Right now, Caden Hughesby running for his life. And they tackle him at about the 42 or 43, near the line of scrimmage. Oh, it was, so between Deuce Washington and Josiah and Spencer, they were platooned last week. But tonight, predominantly Brett Clutterball in that backfield. And it's 3rd down and about 8 for the Cyclones. Here's a snap. Clatterball, the ball carrier, got away from the first defender, and then he ran into the arms of 2 or 3 Spotsylvania players waiting for him. And they'll stop him after a short pickup of, it's like just a yard. And we'll have 4th down, and we'll see Jonathan Bales and the punting team come on.
Well, offensively, the Cyclones have struggled to really get a big drive together. They've had a couple bursts, but then they've never been able to really have that ball control and that clock management here tonight, Mark.
Davon Banks, the lone safety back for Spotsylvania, awaiting Jonathan Bales' kick, and he kicks from the 35. This one is going to bounce and take a little bit of a night's roll, go down it at the 32. So that is a 33-yard kick by Jonathan Bales. 7:31 to play, 3rd quarter action. This broadcast brought to you in part by Copperfish and Time Market. From wood-fired pizzas and the freshest seafood and a world of taste in between, you'll find it all at Copperfish and Time Market. Spotsylvania back on offense. Start this drive from its own 32. And remember, we'll see a variety of players back there. This is Trayvon Banks, the ball carrier, breaking tackles, open field. It's a foot race to the end zone, and Banks is there. That's a 68-yard touchdown run if it holds. And I don't see any penalty flags on the field. Biggest play of the game.
Nice block there to free Banks. He did a nice job of just getting to the outside, and then once he was in that secondary, he was gone, Mark.
Wow, 68 yards. And now it is 12-10 in favor of Spotsylvania. And this is an all-important point after try coming up. Or will they go for 2? And I suspect they're going to go for 2 here. They missed their first point after try, which is why they had 6 points. And then this touchdown gives them 12. And they're going to go for 2 to make it a 14-10 ball game if they can convert.
Mark, it was just a matter of time before their offense really paid off. There's a flag down.
And the fumble down is on the ground as well. So who do you think this is going to work against?
I think the penalty is going to work against legal motion on Spotsylvania.
All right, so Eastern gets to decline it then. So the 2-point try will fail. 12-10 our score. And of course that means a field goal is your game winner, conceivably. We'll turn that way in actuality, we don't know, but this is why we talk about how important those kicks are.
Absolutely. I mean, right now that is the difference in this game, that if they would have been able to get that kick earlier on, it would have been a tie ball game, and then Eastern View would have only been up 10-7. So it's interesting to see, special teams really play that big of a part in the game, but it happens time and again.
Well, we already know that if Eastern View gets in range, they've got Jonathan Bales. He kicked a 32-yard field goal on the last play of the second quarter.
Yeah, it was a good kick. It was straight, true. And Bales has impressed me with his leg. He just had that nice 32-yard punt. So right now what I'm looking for Eastern View to do is be able to capitalize and really get something going offensively. We mentioned they really haven't had any long drives. They've had a couple bursts. But right now I think it's important for Hughesby and for Clatterbaugh to kind of get something going for the Cyclones, try to have a sustained drive to keep their defense off the field.
Here is Robinson's kick. Fielded by Hunter at the 30. Got away from one defender, 35-40. Makes the cut. Nice return out across the 45, close to the 48-yard line. Nicely done, and now Eastern View, though trailing 12-10, brings its offense back on the field with outstanding field position.
And they've had good field position all night. They've been starting average field position right around midfield.
We'll start from the 48. 7:09 to play, third quarter action. 12-10, our score in favor of Spotsylvania. Aiden Hughesby, your quarterback. He's going to throw. This one looks like it's going to be incomplete. It was short, and it was intended for Eastern View's Trayvon Brock. Second down. Let's check and see some of the personnel. Deuce Washington's back there alongside Caden Hughesby. They fake it to him. Hughesby's going to have to throw quickly. He's got a receiver out there and just unable to come up under that. Connor Weeks had a step, but the ball was slightly overthrown.
And there was some pressure coming right there at Caden Hughesby. He was smart to get rid of it as quickly as he did. As you mentioned, just a little bit overthrown, but Connor Weeks, man, what speed we've seen from him here tonight. I thought he did a really nice job of creating some separation there.
Kevin Bird's in the game for the Cyclones. Gage Hughesby, Deuce Washington. Two receivers top of your screen, two at the bottom. Here's a third down. We got a penalty flag down as this one's called, and this is enough for a first down depending upon the call. This catch was made by number 23 Trayvon Brock. Let's see if they're going to bring it back. I thought I may have seen an illegal motion there.
I thought it was
a false start. We'll see.
I was going to say illegal shift is how that was looking.
Here comes the call from the man in the white hat. Illegal shift. It is going to be a 5-yard penalty against Eastern View.
Do it all over again.
Push it back to the 43. That'll make it 4th and 5th, or make it 3rd and 15 rather. Replay that down. I like the idea of trying to get it out to Connor Weeks. Let him run under it. But penalty sets him back 5 yards. All right, here's 3rd and 15 coming up for the Cyclones. Kate Hughesby, Deuce Washington back there. Two receivers to the left and to the right on 3rd down, 15. Here's Hughesby looking for a block, and he won't get one. He's going to pick up about 3 yards, and that's about it. Now we're going to have a 4th and long. Clock stops, 6:45 to play, third quarter action. Spotsylvania 12, Eastern View 10. On comes Jonathan Bales and the punting team.
Now, Bales has really been able to get some good punts here tonight. It'll be interesting to see if he can pin the Knights back with this one. But once again, offensively, the Cyclones just aren't able to sustain, Mark.
So Jonathan Bales will stand at his own 35. Davon Banks, the lone safety back for Spotsylvania. Here's Bales' kick from the 37. This one will not be returned. Let's check the bounce. They're going to down it inside the 20 at the 17.
Point down by number 5.
15 and 33.
Spotsylvania
48-yard
takes
kick.
over the 17-yard line.
Jeff, you were talking about how well Bales has been punting tonight, and that's certainly an asset for your team.
Absolutely. He's been pinning them down deep in their own territory all night long. That one, as you said, a 48-yard punt. pinning them at the 17. But now you have to have a tired Easterview defense make another stop. I mean, they've been on the field a lot. We've seen Braden Walker make a lot of plays out there. Brett Clatterbaugh, we've called his name. Hunter had the pick 6. They have to step up again.
All right, here's the handoff to Banks. Banks held to maybe a yard pickup on the play. So how about Eastern View? How are they doing defensively, Jeff, as far as playing their assignment football?
I feel like defensively they've been doing a good job. When they're able to get penetration and kind of break up the lanes, they're doing a nice job of creating some separation, and they're able to make some plays. That's how we saw that Hunter pick happen, was that they were able to get in there, create some pressure. When they're able to break through the blocks, it's making a big difference.
All right, this is going to be the quarterback. Monty McMorris will keep it for Spotsylvania. We'll get out to about the 22. Picked up 4. Going to bring up 3rd and about 5. Clock running, 5:30 to play here in the 3rd. 12-10 favor Spotsylvania. This broadcast brought to you in part by Cash Imprints, from shirts to banners and everything in between. Imprint your message on the community with Cash Imprints. 317-1473. This is, again, Monty McMorris back there. They don't snap it to him. They snap it to number 29. That'd be a fellow by the name of Ethan Cockrell. Let's check the spot. Did he get enough for a first down? It is a Spotsylvania first down. They had to get to the 28, and that's about where that ball is.
About a 7-yard gain for Cockrell. Nice run. And once again, it's that multi-headed hydra of the running game of the Knights.
Who will get the snap? This is going to be Banks, left side. Got out across the 30.
There's a holding call coming against Spotsylvania, though. I think they got Clatterbaugh on that one.
And Banks a little gimpy after that play. He's going to come to the sidelines. Davon Banks is his name. He had that long touchdown run.
Took it to the Banks.
All right, let's see where they pushed it back to. 18. They're going to have to get out to the 38-yard line for a first down. So first and 20 right here. All right, so Spotsylvania. High snap, brought down by Cockrell. Spun away. He's broken 2 tackles, and he's doesn't ever really go down. They force him out of bounds, but Cockrell, good, tough running, broke 2 tackles on the play, and he got across the 30. Now let's check the spot. Looks like it's going to be the 34. That's a pickup of 16 yards on the play, Jeff. They had a shot at him twice, just couldn't bring him down.
Well, they had him pinned in the backfield, and he was able to spin away. Really hard running right there by Cockrell. I thought Braden Walker had him dead to rights at one point, and he just kept going.
Very manageable situation now for Spotsylvania. 2nd and 4 from their 34. 12-10 our score. All right, nice play action there as they snapped it to the up back. And I believe that's number 16, isn't it?
Yep.
And that's Trenton Ballard. Boy, really mix it up nicely. Eastern View territory down at the 43-yard line. That's a pickup of 23 yards on the play.
As you mentioned, Mark, they're doing a really good job of switching up the play calling. They're running the sweep. They're running a quick snap. They're showing different formations within that single wing.
Right. All right, now Spotsylvania now has it 1st and 10 from the Eastern View 43. Again, our score 12-10. just under 3 minutes to play. Fumble in the backfield. Cockrell's going to have to fall on it, and he'll do so at midfield. And putting the finishing touches on that play, Eastern View, was Keegan Brown. And they're going to mark it just shy of midfield. So he lost 6. 2nd and 16 coming up.
I feel like I've been watching a game of hot potato tonight. Nobody just wants to hang on to that ball.
Well, what was it? 7 turnovers in the first half, 4 by Eastern View, 3 by Spotsylvania. And this is the running back number 25.
Tyson Anderson.
Tyson Anderson. We're going to bring up 3rd down and 11. Line of scrimmage now, the Eastern View 44. Clock continues to run. 1:50 to play here in the 3rd. Our score at halftime was 10-6 Eastern View. But Spotsylvania has a 3rd quarter touchdown. They missed the 2-point try. Our current score 12-10 in favor of the Knights. This is a handoff to Cockrell. Cockrell doing some work, doing some damage. Got inside the 35. Down to about the 31. We'll mark it to 32. Picked up 12 yards and another Spotsylvania first down. So this is a drive, Jeff, that started on the Spotsylvania 17, and they've moved it down to the Eastern View 32 in about 12 plays.
Yeah, Cockrell's doing a lot of the heavy lifting. Had a couple big runs there. We're starting to see him take control here in the second quarter, and then in the second half of the 3rd quarter. So he's doing a really nice job, really running downhill.
All right, this is Morris, the quarterback. They stack him up near the line of scrimmage. Several Cyclone players in on the tackle, including Brett Clatterball. 2nd down and 9 coming up. Gave him just a yard. Clock runs, 40 seconds and counting, 3rd quarter action. And again, we see the substitution of players for Spotsylvania. Davon Banks, I believe, is still on the sidelines, Jeff. He was a little gimpy. I don't think he's come back into the game. This is Cockrell. Cockrell spinning his way for first down yardage and much, much more. He may be the toughest ball carrier out here tonight. Got inside the 10-yard line, about 21 yards on the carry.
Well, you mentioned Banks on the sideline, and Cockrell has picked up the lion's share of the carries now, and he is just decimating the Cyclones defense with his legs.
Yeah, Cockrell really going to work. That's Ethan Cockrell. Timeout taken. Well, you know, our timeout sponsor is CFC Farm and Home Center, the service, knowledge, and products you need for your farm, home, pets, livestock, and equine since 1932. Well, you know, we also mentioned our live sponsor this year is Able Heating and Air, answering any and all questions you may have about your HVAC system. There's peace of mind knowing they are able to keep your home comfortable. Able Heating and Air, 718-7556. And this broadcast also brought to you in part by Battlefield Automotive, featuring Toyota, Chevrolet, and Ford. Battlefield Automotive, a keystone of service and a cornerstone of our community. 547-3673. All right, what do you think, Jeff?
Right now, Cockrell's taking control for the Knights. They're doing a really good job of just slicing and dicing the Cyclones defense. You mentioned they started down at the 17. They have controlled the ball. That's the one thing with this offense for the Knights, Mark. They are really a ball control offense. We're seeing them right now control it.
All right, now Banks is back in there. They fake it to him, but Morris keeps it. They'll stop him near the line of scrimmage. It'll be 2nd and goal coming up from the 10. Well, just inside the 10. Let's give him a yard. And the final seconds have ticked off here in the 3rd quarter. So at the end of 3, it's Spotsylvania 12, Eastern View 10. We'll take a break and come back for the 4th quarter. Stay tuned. You're watching Cyclones football on the Culpeper Media Network.
This broadcast is brought to you by the following community sponsors:
Able Heating and Air, answering any and all questions you may have about your HVAC system. There's peace of mind knowing they are able to keep your home comfortable. Able Heating and Air, 718-7556. Battlefield Automotive, featuring Toyota, Chevrolet, and Ford. Battlefield Automotive, a keystone of service and a cornerstone of our community. From shirts to banners and everything in between, imprint your message on the community with Cash Imprints, 317-1473. From wood-fired pizza to the freshest seafood and a world of taste in between, you'll find it all at Copperfish and Time Market. More than just a respected funeral home, Pound & Sons supports youth at all levels so they can become tomorrow's leaders. Pound & Sons, 825-3530.
Welcome back to our broadcast. Start of the fourth quarter sees Spotsylvania with 2nd and goal from the 9. And the ball carrier, I believe it was Banks, got inside the 5. Banks was a little gimpy after that one play, and he checked out for a while, but he's back in the lineup, Jeff.
Yeah, and there was a nice little fake right there. I was watching Tyson Anderson, number 25. I thought he was going to take it on the end around. Banks held on to it, took it down to about the 4-yard line. They do really nice misdirection plays.
Yeah, they really do, and again, that's why assignment football is so important for your defense. Here's 3rd and goal from the 4. This is Banks. Straight ahead he goes. And it is Banks, and that would be his 2nd touchdown of the night. Comes from 4 yards out. That'll make it 18-10 in favor of Spotsylvania. Now, do you go for the point after or the 2-point try?
You go for 2.
You go for 2. 18-10 our score. Eastern View will have to have 2 scores. And we're in the opening minute here of this fourth quarter. Now, on its last 2-point try attempt, Spotsylvania failed in an illegal shift. They're going to give it to Banks, and they're going to stop Banks shy of that goal line. And I'm going to give the credit to that tackle primarily to Eastern View's Branson James, 45. All right, 18-10 our score. It was 10-6 Eastern View at the half. It's 18-10 Spotsylvania right now.
12 unanswered, but I will keep wondering, Mark, if those 2 missed point afters are going to come back to haunt Spotsylvania. 3 missed point afters. They missed a kick early on in the first quarter.
Well, but you know, offensively, Eastern View hasn't found its way into the end zone. They've got 1 touchdown, but that was a pick 6 by DeMaio Hunter. We got a field goal by Jonathan Bales. That's it.
Now, offensively, they have not been able to sustain drives, and they're going to really have to put one together, A, to get their defense some rest, and B, to really start wearing down the defense of Spotsylvania. They've been able to stay fresh, and Spotsylvania, as we mentioned, with 31 players on the roster, you would think that they'd start tiring out a little bit, but they have not.
Robinson's a short kick. This one taken on the run by Eastern View's number 22. That's Amari Robinson. And good field position for Eastern View coming up here as he sent his offense back onto the field.
So we got a flag down on the field as well. Let's see what that is going to go against Eastern View, it looks like.
Well, Jeff, I'm looking. I think that we wanted to mention that, of course, Eastern View is playing at Spotsylvania here tonight. And then next week, I think they get King George. Culpeper is playing James Monroe tonight. And next week, we'll be at Broman Field where the Blue Devils will play host to the Portland Cougars.
Last I heard, CCHS was down 24-0 to JM.
So I mentioned Eastern View at Spotsylvania tonight. Yeah, next week, the home game to King George. And I tell you, that's going to be the biggest challenge for Eastern View during this regular season, is to come up with some answer against King George. They've got an excellent quarterback and 2 Division I prospect wide receivers and an awfully good tight end, a fellow by the name of Kyle Rovello. But right now we're focused on this game. An incomplete pass thrown over the hands of the intended receiver there. Number 5, Adarian Cook. 2nd and 10 for Eastern View. They need 2 scores here. They trail 18-10 opening minute here this 4th quarter.
Touchdown and 2-point conversion would tie it.
That's right. So really, it's a touchdown and 2-point to tie and then another score to win it. Here's Caden Huseby fighting for yardage. Gets out to the 30, picked up 3. Yeah, so that's why those 2-point conversions, both of those that failed for Spotsylvania are huge.
They loom
large.
They loom large over Spotsylvania right now, but Eastern View is really going to have to get something going offensively. We've seen them misfire a couple of times. If they can be able to sustain this drive and be able to keep it going, they have a shot.
Here's Huseby, step it up. Gonna keep it. I think he wanted to pass it. I don't think anything was there, so he had to run it. Straight ahead he went. Picked up 2 or 3 yards. Gonna bring up 3rd down and about 6. Yeah, he's got to get to the 38 for a 1st down.
It's actually 4th down, so
Missed one.
they have a decision to make here. Are they going to punt it or are they going to go for it? It looks like, Mark, they're going for it.
Well, they're going to line up as if they're going for it. They're going to stack this left side, 3 receivers. Caden Huseby, the long snap count. Of course, they want to drive Spotsylvania offsides. Doesn't happen. Here's Huseby. He's throwing. He's got a seat. Oh, this one dropped. And that would have been a 1st down catch. And none of that would have bring it in. Number 23 of Eastern View. And that is Trayvon Rock. Wow, he had it. He just simply took his eyes off of it, and that turns the ball over to Spotsylvania.
Yeah, that's a tough job for Eastern View. Brock would have caught that. That would have been a 1st down. They'd been able to sustain that drive, maybe get something going. And instead, their defense is back on the field against a very powerful and very confident right now Spotsylvania Knight offense.
And Jeff, I think you'll agree that with that misplay, that would have been a 1st down.
That was
But
absolutely.
with that misplay, it really puts more pressure on your defense now to step up for you.
It does, and their defense has been playing pretty well. I've given up 18, but they've been facing some tough situations.
This is Ethan Cockrell. He continues to run hard, making the tackle for Eastern View. Number 63, Caleb Quinn. Mark it just inside the 30. Well, 29. Give him 3 yards on the play. Clock running, 9:15 to play, 4th quarter action. Spotsylvania 18, Eastern View 10. 2nd down and about 7. This is Cockrell again. This time they hold him to a 1-yard gain. Couple of players, Clatterball and number 44, Keegan Brown, combined for the stop. Picked up 2, 3rd down, about 5. So here's your defense really has to come up for you big here if you're Eastern View. With the clock continuing to run. I know really in the college and professional ranks, 8.5 minutes is a long time, but it doesn't pan out that way in a high school game.
No, it doesn't. Not when a team like Spotsylvania has been running the ball, and we see Banks running it strong once again.
Clatterball making the tackle, and now 4th down comes up. So what do you do for Spotsylvania? I suppose you just go for it here. You're not, I'm pretty sure you're not in field goal range. You've got the ball at the, Eastern View 27, 28, 35. That'd be a 45-yard field goal if they were to try it. I don't think they will. So they don't have to convert here. Of course, if they do, basically what they're doing is they can go into that, working the clock, which really is going to hurt Eastern View.
The clock is still running, and as you mentioned, that does hurt Eastern View. But the way they've been running the ball, Mark, I think that they just keep it on the ground, do a little bit of misdirection, and I think that's we've seen them have a lot of success with that here tonight.
Got a whistle and stoppage. Oh, it's going to be a delay of game, 5-yard penalty against Spotsylvania. It'll mark off 5 yards, push it back to the 32, and that's where it'll be 4th and 10. That may change the play call coming up here shortly. Well, you know, this. Let's see. They're back onto the field. 4th and 10 from the 32 for Spotsylvania. Clock stopped, 7:28 to play. And again, just a continuous substitution for Spotsylvania tonight. I really think it keeps your players fresh in that backfield. And I think if you're a defender, you're always seeing a different number back there. Of course, number 3 is Morris, the quarterback.
We've also seen Mason Christopher back there for
Look
Spotsylvania.
at this, Jeff. Back-to-back delay of game penalties against Spotsylvania. I don't know what's going on here, but now they're going to be, you know, it was 4th and 5, then it was 4th and 10. Now it's going to be 4th and 15.
And Jeremy Jack, none too pleased about that one. Seeing him throwing a little fit there on the sidelines. You cannot shoot yourself in the foot like that with these penalties when you're deep in Eastern View territory.
Here's McMorris. No, this is Banks, rather, throwing it. Going up for it, incomplete. And the intended receiver out there was Spotsylvania's Jake Jack. Couldn't see who was defending, but, well, your defense does come through for you. Now, Eastern View gets the ball back with a turnover on downs, and I believe they're going to have it at their own 37. Decent field position. Plenty of time, 7:21 to play. But as you pointed out, Jeff, you're down by 8 points. You need a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. Because if you go for the point after, you still have to have another score.
Absolutely, but what a big stop right there on 4th down once again by the Cyclones defense. That's the second or third big stop on 4th down that they've had. Now they need the offense to step up.
Huseby having to keep it. Run straight ahead, got across the 40 to the 41. He'll pick up 4, brings up 2nd and 6. You know, this broadcast brought to you in part by Fountain Sons, which is more than a respected funeral home. They support youth at all levels so they can become tomorrow's leaders. Fountain Sons, 825-3530. Here's Brett Clatterball. Gets to the outside, breaks a tackle, breaks a second tackle. There goes Clatterball, and they finally drag him down inside that Spotsylvania 25-yard line, and a penalty flag comes in. Could this be a horse collar penalty assessed against Spotsylvania?
I think so, and we have an injured Spotsylvania player coming off quickly. But, man, what a stiff arm right there by Clatterball.
Wow.
He just shoved off a Spotsylvania defender, and now I think they're going to have 15 yards tacked on to that run.
Here comes the call. It is a personal foul, horse collar, as we suspected. Now they'll mark it off. And I don't think this is a half a distance of the goal thing because it happened outside the 20-yard line. So they'll mark it at the 10. All right, so big break for Eastern View. What a run by Clatterball. Tack on that horse collar penalty, and all of a sudden Eastern View's back in business here. 1st and goal from the 10-yard line.
It was a 30-yard run there by Clatterball.
And he broke a couple tackles to get there. Here's Caden Huseby. Straight ahead he goes. And Huseby fighting for yardage. He gets down to the 5. He'll bring up 2nd and goal from that spot.
And the Cyclones running no huddle offense right now. Getting the calls quickly in from the sidelines.
Well, they've got plenty of time if they can convert. Here's Huseby again, looking for some running room. There goes Huseby. He's into the end zone from 5 yards out. And let's make sure we get the call before we celebrate here for them, because it is a touchdown. What a nice play. Well, it was that caps that scoring drive. The big run by Clatterball, and then the touchdown run by Huseby from 5 yards out, 18-16. All right, Jeff, we figure the 2-point try is coming up. How crucial is this?
This is huge. This is huge, and I'm going to go outside again. You know, that they just saw a couple of plays running to the outside of the tackles, be able to capitalize and get past Spotsylvania. I'm going for that once more.
Huseby going to try it. There goes Huseby picking his way forward. Looks like they've stopped him shy of that goal line. Spotsylvania stiffens there on the 2-point try. Caden Huseby and the Cyclones are denied. It's 18-16 with 6:14 to play in the fourth.
What a big stop by Spotsylvania right there. Huseby had the right idea. He just had to turn a little bit more. Maybe he had somebody give him a little push there on the back end. But man, nice play by Spotsylvania to gobble him up right before he gets across the goal line.
But you know, I guess I believe in your field goal kickers when they have range. Look, if you get a defensive stop, you don't give up, a couple first downs, and you give your team plenty of clock. All you got to do is drive within field goal range, and a kid like Jonathan Bales could win this thing for you.
Well, Bales can still win it for you. He's down by 2. So you can hopefully get a big stop here, pin them deep, and then get the ball back and set it up for field goal range.
Jonathan Bales tees it up for the Cyclones. Trying to check the deep man back there for Spotsylvania. I believe that's number 23. These numbers are really difficult to pick up, yeah.
Jalen Tolson.
Yeah, Jalen Tolson. And let's see about the strategy. Oh, it's an onside kick.
I was about to say, what if they try for an onside kick right here as I saw them talking it over?
Well, I think they didn't want to kick it to Tolson, but they're going to give up the price for that as we don't recover it. Your opponent has excellent field position, as Spotsylvania does here at the 40-yard line. And the Knights up by 2 points, 18-16, 6:14 to play here in the fourth. And you just never know what they're going to throw your way. Or, in Spotsylvania's case, run your way.
If you're the Cyclones here, Mark, you're going to have to get a big stop once again. Try to turn the ball over on downs or get a turnover.
Well, this is Cockrell, the ball carrier. Brett Clatterball makes the tackle for Eastern View. They've injured or shaken up Spotsylvania player. No, he appears to be fine. So Cockrell picked up 4, 2nd and 6. Clock runs. No, it actually is stopped. We got a penalty flag down, don't we?
There's a flag on the field.
Unsportsmanlike against Spotsylvania?
Wow.
I didn't see that.
Wow.
That's going to cost him.
That's a big one against the Knights. That's 15 yards, and that takes them out of really good field position.
Well, if you're the Eastern View Cyclone defense, you accept that penalty, don't you?
Absolutely.
Graciously.
You happily take that penalty.
Pushes it back to the 29-yard line. And they've got to get to the Eastern View 49 for a first down. We do the math here.
Second and 22, yep.
Second and 22. Let's see what Spotsylvania dials up here. This is going to be Banks, the ball carrier. Watch out. Well, Banks gets back a chunk of that lost yardage out to the 40. That's where the original line of scrimmage was. So that's going to make it 3rd down and 10. Well, Jeff, Banks has that long run for a touchdown tonight. In fact, he's got 2 touchdowns for Spotsylvania.
Yeah, we've seen his speed. Once he's able to get into the secondary, he can really turn it on. Nice blocking right there by Spotsylvania. Their offensive line, Mark, tonight has really impressed me. They've been doing a good job of firing off the ball.
All right, here's the 2nd down, 10. This is Cockrell. And Cockrell hard running. Oh, he's just tough to bring down. Eastern View territory, just shy of that 40-yard line. Big first down pickup by Ethan Cockrell. I think we've been impressed with him too. Looks like
now Cockrell's hurt.
Yeah, he may be injured.
Cockrell's real hurt.
He's holding his right foot. Appears to be in some pain. I tell you what, that's just hard, tough, determined running by Ethan Cockrell. You expect him to get a round of applause here as he's assisted to the sideline. So that's a pickup of 17 yards for Cockrell. A first down for Spotsylvania. Clock stopped. Exactly 5 minutes remaining here in this fourth quarter. And it's Spotsylvania 18, Eastern View 16. Cyclone defense going to have to rise to the occasion and get this ball back to their offensive teammates if they want to pull out this victory here tonight at Spotsylvania High School. This is Banks, the ball carrier. Straight ahead he goes. Banks is in the open field. 20, 15, 10. They give chase, and Banks is going to be stopped just shy of the goal line. He got inside the 5. Looks like we'll mark it at the 2. Wow. Well, Banks has really been a dagger in the heart of the Cyclones tonight, hasn't he, Jeff?
Unbelievable. Another great run. Be able to get to the outside now. Looks like he might be banged up. I was about to say that Cockrell was running on the sideline, so he's okay. It looks like he's coming back in the game, but Banks has just shredded the Cyclones when he's been able to get in that secondary. His speed is impressive.
All the way down to the 3-yard line. He picked up 40 yards on that run. And now, really a score by Spotsylvania would probably ice it for them.
With 4:40 to go, leading 18-16. Here in the fourth quarter, I think a touchdown certainly does just that.
So they have it now at the Eastern View 3. That's where it's first and goal. And so many of those players tonight that really mix it up at Spotsylvania. Monty McMorris, number 3, the quarterback. Ethan Cockrell's back there. Let's see who gets the ball. Well, it's to Cockrell. He fumbles it, picks it up.
Fumbles it
and
again.
He's lucky to hold on to it. And he lost yardage back to the 10-yard line.
And Eastern View saying they had come up with it, but Cockrell had it, lost it again. Again, we've seen a lot of hot potatoes here tonight.
We really have. Well, we mentioned there were 7 turnovers in that first half. 4 by Eastern View and 3 by Spotsylvania. And one of those Spotsylvania turnovers resulted in a pick 6 by DeMaio Hunter. And that was Eastern View's lone touchdown in that first half. They had a point after and a field goal by Jonathan Bales. They led 10-6 at the intermission. But this has been a very entertaining football game, and both teams are in it. Of course, you got to like Spotsylvania's vantage point here with under 4 minutes to play, and they have it second and goal now from the 10-yard line. This is going to be Banks, and Banks is going to be dropped for a loss. The Cyclones were all over that one. Jeff, that has to be a breakdown in the blocking up front.
I think it was a combination of breakdown in the blocking, and Eastern View saw that one coming a mile away. That was very similar to the play that Banks just ran, that he was close to the end zone. But it's interesting to me watching them run these line changes, because Cockrell just came out. Then they quickly ran Cockrell back in. They ran off number 25, Tyson Anderson. They ran back in Jalen Tolson. Banks is running all around. The substitutions that Spotsylvania is making is impressive to watch.
Yeah, it really is. And we've got a timeout on the field. And chance to tell you that our live sponsor this year is Able Heating and Air. Answering any and all questions you may have about your HVAC system. There's peace of mind knowing they are able to keep your home comfortable. Able Heating and Air, 718-7556. And this broadcast also brought to you in part by Fountain Sons, which is more than a respected funeral home. They support youth at all levels so they can become tomorrow's leaders. Fountain Sons, 825-3530. Jeff?
Cockrell is on the sidelines, ill. He is down right now, but he was just by the trash can, and the staff is attending to him now, but that's a big player off the field for the Spotsylvania Knights here with 3:19 to play, facing 3rd and 14.
And here it is. Here's McMorris. He's looking for a receiver. He's got one. Sheds a tackle. Stopped just inside the 5-yard line. And we'll pick up that number here in just a moment.
I think that was number 8, Jefferson Paz.
Jefferson Paz, the tight end. He caught 2 touchdown passes a week ago in that loss to Spotsylvania. So Eastern View now calls a timeout. So, Jeff, after the timeout, it looks like it's going to be fourth
and goal at the 5.
At the 5. So, I mean, obviously, you could say that defensively for Eastern View, the game comes down to this play.
Absolutely. We've seen Eastern View make how many stops on 4th down in this game. This is going to be the biggest one they're going to have to make.
Yeah. And, of course, if you're Spotsylvania, if you score here, it's probably going to seal the deal for you under the circumstances.
Just over 3 minutes to play. I think that puts the game out of reach at this point in time.
So crosstown rival Culpeper playing JM tonight.
Down 31-7 as we speak.
Wow. And then next week we'll be at Roman Field for the game that the Blue Devils would play host to the Portland Cougars. And Eastern View will play against King George. All right, after the timeout, Spotsylvania has it 4th and goal from the 5-yard line. Monty McMoore's the quarterback, gonna keep it. Gonna be tackled at the 5 or just inside it, and that'll turn the ball over to the Cyclones, Jeff, and that was huge for the defensive efforts for Eastern View to come through there, because now it's still 18-16. You've got 3 minutes, and I guess the question is, looks like Eastern View has 1 timeout remaining. So you got to, obviously it demands excellent clock management.
Absolutely, but man, what a stop by Eastern View's defense again. I've said time and again on 4th down, they have been extremely stingy here tonight, and that was the biggest play of the game.
Here's Hughesby, throws near side. And I believe this was DeMaio Hunter, wasn't it? Near side.
That was Trayvon Brock.
Brock, my mistake.
Pass complete.
Looking for a little breathing room. The line of scrimmage was the 4, and he gets out to the 9. He picked up
Tackle
5,
number 8, Justin Pass.
but the clock continues to run. So let's see if Caden Hughesby can do some good clock management. Clatter ball. The ball carries straight ahead to the 15. That's a gain of 6 and a 1st down for Eastern View. New set of downs coming up. They go no huddle, of course. Clatter ball back there with Caden Hughesby. Hughesby had a receiver out there, and he threw behind him. The intended receiver, number 23, and that's Trayvon Brock.
Brings up 2nd down.
Does stop the clock, however, 2:15 to play.
Brock would have had some running room if he would have been able to catch that. Just throwing a little bit behind him. Hughesby feeling some pressure. Had to get that ball off quickly. I like Eastern View in the no huddle offense. They really seem to have some rhythm going with that.
Here's Hughesby. Here comes some pressure. Hughesby throwing. Got a receiver out there. It's number 22, Jeff.
Amare Robinson.
Yeah, Amari Robinson. Now we got an injured, let's see, that's a Spotsylvania player down. Looks like number 16.
Trenton Ballard.
Yeah, and Trenton Ballard's played well tonight for Spotsylvania.
Well, with Ballard down, and we've seen Cockrell struggling at times here. He is on the bench right now with his head down. He was just ill a moment ago. So I'm wondering if Spotsylvania is starting to really feel it here late in this game. They've been offensively on the field quite a bit.
Number 16, Trenton Ballard.
Well, Ballard makes his way to the sidelines, and let's check the spot.
It's going to be at the 22, so it'll be with 3rd and 3.
Nice walk, 3rd down.
Okay. All right, let's see what Caden Hughesby fouls up here. Stepping up, throwing. Got a receiver. 1st down and more. Breaks a tackle. Caught from behind as he crossed the 40-yard line there. And that was number 23. That was Brock again. Out to the 41. Let's pick up a 19 yards, Jeff. 1st down. Clock stopped with the resetting of the sticks, and now the clock will resume. But remember, they don't have to have a touchdown. They only have to have a field goal.
And they have 1 timeout left. Hughesby to Brock seem to be the connection. And they're going to take that timeout?
Well,
Or is that Spotsylvania's timeout?
that's a good question. Well, Eastern View is coming back on the field. As far as they're concerned, there is no timeout. The clock running. Minute 40. Caden Hughesby. They load up that right side. 3 receivers. And Clatterball back there along with Hughesby. From the 41. Penalty flag down.
Delay again. I didn't think they were going to be able to get that play off. It was too slow developing.
Flag on the play.
Yep, and it looked a little confusing. Well, was there a timeout? And then there wasn't, and then there was a lot of uncertainty about the alignment. Anyway, pushes the ball back to the 36-yard line. Clock stop, minute 25. Now it resumes. And this is where we're talking about clock management, and you can't afford to be giving up 5-yard penalties. Here's Hughesby. Throwing quickly, far side, receiver. I think this is Brock again.
Yep.
And they're going to stop him after a pickup of about 5 yards.
You've either got to use that timeout now if you're Eastern View, or you've got to be able to get a play off quickly. You cannot.
Yeah, are they calling the timeout?
Yep, they got to call the timeout.
Wow, so they have 56.9 seconds remaining here in the fourth quarter. Our score is Spotsylvania 18, Eastern View 16. And I would imagine a game-winning field goal, they're going to probably have to get it down to about the 20-yard line. Maybe the 25, but then that's a 42.
I would definitely say 15-20.
Yeah, and for 20, that's a 37-yard field goal attempt.
I
think that's in his range.
That's certainly within Vale's range, absolutely.
All right, so how far do they have to get to the 20 we said? 20, 25, 30, 35, 37 yards?
37 yards in a minute 5. They did put some time back on the clock.
And they didn't use that timeout. It must have been an official timeout.
Nope, they took it off.
Did they?
Yep.
Okay. Low snap. Hughesby picks it up. Gonna throw. Out there deep. Caught! This one's caught inside the 20-yard line there. What a play. What a catch.
What an
that was
unbelievable
Brock.
catch. What a play by Brock. I just said Hughesby to Brock has really been the connection here, Mark.
Oh my gosh, Jeff, they're already in field goal range. But you've got a new set of downs in 57 seconds. You don't have to kick it right now. In fact, you got a little bit of time to work with.
You don't even need to pass it. You can run the ball now. Give it to Clatterball and let him bang it in.
You can do that. Clatterball's in the backfield. But are they out of timeouts?
That's a timeout by Spotsy that time.
Wow, what a pass play. How much was that officially? It was wasn't the line of scrimmage, the Eastern View 36?
It was the Eastern View 36. It's down to the 17.
So that's 33 and 14, 47 yards on the pass play?
Unbelievable.
I mean, you're talking about clutch.
Beautiful throw by Hughesby, too.
Hughesby laid it out there, I thought, beautifully, and Brock was able to catch it in stride.
Absolutely. It was just well executed all around. Eastern View calling that timeout, dialed one up, Mark.
Really did. I mean, that was clutch. That's got to be one of the plays of the game right there, particularly for Eastern View.
Well, that's right now it is the play of the game, but they are going to have to convert and try to be able to get a field goal here. Like I said, 49 seconds to go. I'd still try a running play with Clatterball.
I think you want to run it probably for position.
Yep.
You want it in the center of the field, don't you?
Absolutely. So try to run Clatterball to the left.
And you got to hold on to that football. Clatterball, straight ahead he goes. And just shy of that 10-yard line. They've got the position they want there. Clock is running down to 40 seconds. I think if you're Hughesby, don't you spike it here?
I would almost be tempted to go towards the end zone, just throw it out of bounds if you can't find one.
Here's Hughesby going to run it, picking his way forward. They'll stop him just at the 10-yard line.
Now you've got to spike it.
Now you got to spike it. Clock running. 15 seconds. Got to line up, got to spike it. He does. And now you would send your field goal team on, and they
Here
do.
They come.
And so let's check the line of scrimmage, Jeff. Is it the 10?
It's at the 10, so that's going to be a 27-yard field goal attempt.
That's right. Definitely within Bales' range. It comes down to you got to have a good snap. You got to have a good hold. DeMaio Hunter is the holder. So 27-yard kick. This could win it for Eastern View. I think if you're Spotsylvania, you probably call a timeout.
Yep, Spotsylvania took their final timeout right here.
That is their third final timeout.
Well, you want to try to unnerve the kicker, right?
Is it ice the kicker?
Ice the kicker.
What a ball game though we've seen here tonight. Unbelievable. And that play by Hughesby still, that pass to
Brock?
Brock. Yep. That pass to Brock was just incredible. Thank you. I blanked on Brock for a second.
Yeah, I mean, Brock was really sort of the player who emerged late in the second half for the Cyclones. He was making some contributions well before that play.
Absolutely. I mean, I said Fuseby and Brock had that connection. There it was. Here we go. This is it.
There's the snap. There's the hold. There's the kick. It's up. It's long enough. It's through the... No! It's no good. It's wide. He had plenty of leg. Just missed it. Wow, that would have been the game winner. Instead, the score remains 18-16. 7.7 seconds remaining. So Spotsylvania only has to take a knee here.
Wow. I thought the Bales had that one. That was plenty of leg. He must have just missed right.
He must have just missed right, like you say. And from my vantage point, I was getting ready to say it was good.
I thought it looked good and must have just missed. But they really weren't quite lined up in the center. Where are they, Mark?
Well, not ideally, but I think with that run to Clatterball and then Huseby, they were trying to work toward that center. I don't think that was really what threw it off. Well, that's really unfortunate for Eastern View.
Wow.
Yeah, that one.
That would have been an amazing comeback.
So Spotsylvania on for one play, take a knee, let this clock run out. And the final seconds are ticking off here at Timothy Coleman Field, Spotsylvania High School. The Knights have plenty to celebrate. One of those fellows celebrating is a guy by the name of Davon Banks. He had a whale of a game for Spotsylvania. So, Jeff, enjoyed calling the game with you tonight. Let's summarize it for our viewing audience, how you saw things. It was 10-6 Eastern View at the half, and then what a whale of a finish.
Yeah, unbelievable. I really thought that those two missed extra points, those two missed two-point conversions by Spotsylvania may come back to haunt them, and it sure did. But that kick by Bales just going wide right, I thought that was going to go through. Unbelievable comeback by Eastern View. We saw the Huseby to Brock. What a great connection there, 47 yards, getting them down in field goal range late in the game. And Eastern View's defense, Mark, how many stops did they have on fourth down? They kept the Cyclones in this game tonight.
They really did, and I think it's well said, Jeff. I'm really glad you were able to fill in for Steve, and I thought you did so admirably. You just sort of picked up where you left off from lacrosse season.
Well, thank you. It's always easy working with you, sir.
All right, great to see you, and we've had a lot of fun tonight. Sorry for the Cyclones that came up. Well, you know, they say it's a game of inches. But again, from my vantage point, obviously it had plenty of leg behind it. But I thought the kick was good, but the officials saw it wide right, and that's how it ends, 18-16 in favor of Spotsylvania. All right, we want to extend our appreciation to all of our supporters, and for Johnny behind the camera tonight, and Jeff being here and filling in for Steve Peacock and doing so well. And I hope you enjoyed the broadcast. It was a thrilling end. Didn't turn out the way Eastern View would have liked it, but that's the way it goes sometimes. Well, next week, again, we'll be back on the air. I think we'll be live next Friday from Broman Field as the Blue Devils play host to the Cortland Cougars. So until then, have a great weekend and enjoy your week. We'll see you next Friday from Broman Field. So long.